I have actually not been able to work on my Therese dress at all since last we chatted. I've talked about it on Instagram and in some of my other videos, but our sweet buddy Rudy is having some pretty significant health issues. So a lot of times whenever I've thought I'd be doing something for the day, like a work project like the Teresa, I ended up either emotionally and mentally not being able to do it, or something happened and we needed to take care of him. So it's been a little bit of a struggle. There's the little man in question right now. He was outside on his morning constitutional. I am still sitting in my backyard. Let me see if I can turn y'all. Yeah, I'm just on the lanai today. It is just before 7 o'clock, I think. Yes, it is 10 to 7. And the bluebirds are out, the birds are chirping. It's already very muggy. It's only about 70 degrees, but it's gonna get up to 90 today. Even though I feel like my world is crashing down a little bit around me, I'm feeling a little bit of this new moon magic. And when I was going to sleep last night, I was excited to wake up and work on this project. So that's a plus. We're gonna take the magic where we can. Sorry. So I have my 2 shoulder saddles, and now, per the instructions, I'm going to be picking up stitches. So I've never done this before. This is a new to me thing. I've got my larger needles somewhere. All right, and I'm not going to give the instructions here. That's not cool. I'm just reading them and then hopefully get to show you guys a little bit of the work. Picking those up. I love German short rows. Okay, I can do this. Also, I should say, we've talked about in the last episode how I'm planning on doing the shaping for the neck. Honestly, I'm feeling like maybe I just want to follow the pattern. Modding, I'm going to do some modifications, especially for the slits on the side, but doing some modifications even whenever they're easy, like my brain is just not braining. I'm in a bit of a brain fog. And while I know that I am very capable of doing this, and it wouldn't be that hard, just that idea of that extra work and the math and the extra note taking is kind of turning me off to the project. So I think I'm just going to follow the instructions and wear my V in the front instead of in the back. I know myself, and I'm like, oh, and if I want to reverse it, I can, which is how I think it's originally intended to be worn, is with that deep V in the back. But I know with a short scoop neck, I'll never wear it that way. So I think I'm gonna create it with the as it is, because I think it'll keep it on my shoulders best. I'll just be wearing it with the deep V plunging in the front, which I think is gonna be beautiful. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on this. New moons are times for, it's a great time for magic. It's really good for new beginnings and kind of taking stock of your situation, where you're at, maybe manifesting some things that you want to come up for you to change, things that you know, just desire for your life. And this is the time to really focus on them so that you can make them happen, to kind of create a plan of attack for it. I know for me, I often feel better on new moons than I do full moons. People say that full moon craziness. I think it's fair. Sometimes full moons just, they drain me. So the new moon, I'm feeling like my creative juices are going. I feel like I have a lot of fear and anxiety in my life right now, but also quite a bit of hope. So that's good. I would hate to lose that. Definitely want to hold on to that. So I think a lot of those emotions are probably what I'm going to be channeling into this project right now. Thinking about the High Priestess, the new moon, the dark moon, is definitely a time for Selene, the moon goddess, and for the High Priestess. I'm trying really hard to listen to my intuition, that being one of the things that is very High Priestess and that I talked about in the last episode, and trusting myself. And part of trusting myself lately has been slowing down quite a bit, to try to just be in the present moment and soak up all the time I have with my baby while I can. Sorry. But also, I feel like I've lost touch a little bit with my sensual, mysterious side because of all of my fear and anxiety. The Moon tarot card is a lot about fears and anxieties and kind of letting them go. So I think with this new moon, I'm gonna try to let go a little bit of some of these fears that I know are linked to my anticipatory grief. I know that that's not possible to let go of all of them. Grief is a process that I just have to go through right now. But the fear of the unknown that's really holding me back from doing things, because I'm so scared that, you know, I'm gonna miss the last moment with him to do this, or the chance to make memories that, and just be more in the present moment without worry. Hi. There's a little meeting going on between two of the crows. But anyways, yeah, so that was just some new moon thoughts for y'all today, and now I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Ta-da! Alright, I have finished the neckline shaping for the front right. So yeah, this is like, well, this is actually my back right, but I'm going to, I love how this worked. The cast on was really cool. So I've gone to this point. I'm gonna break my yarn, do the same thing, excuse me, to the other saddle, and then I join them together and do some work on the front, and then I break that whole thing, and then we'll be doing the back, which is going to be my front. I did look at the schematics. As much as I just said, like, oh, my brain isn't working to do any sort of mods, I'm probably gonna make it a little boobier, a little V-ear, so that I get the look that I want for the front of my chest. I'll do that same kind of thing where you work one side, then you work the other, and then it joins, and then the whole thing will be joined in the round. So this is exciting. This went pretty quickly. It only took me like a half hour. I'm gonna go ahead, break this yarn, and work on the other one. I think that'll be my goal, maybe, to get them joined today on this new moon. And then, yeah, we'll see where that picks up. I'm going to probably stitch a lot of these videos together so that, or the second episode is like through the shaping of the neckline, is kind of what I'm thinking. So anyways, I'll keep going. All right, I'm getting ready to join these two pieces together. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. See if I can balance this. Hi, buddy. I know, sweet boy. You're having a hard time. Can mommy finish this row? Yeah. Just let me finish this row, baby, then mommy can play. Oh, baby. You okay? I know. I know, baby. I know. the shoulder, one of the front, well, for me it's the back, and then this is our like neckline cast on. I have to look to see. I'm pretty sure something is done with these stitches at the top because they, to me, just look a little wonky, which very well could be my fault. But if there's nothing done to them, I might do a single crochet border just to kind of neaten it up a little bit if blocking doesn't help. Whenever I cast on the V-stitch, or I'm sorry, the V-neck on this side, I have a feeling I'm gonna add length to make it V-ier. So I don't wanna cast on stitches for the armpit until I've determined this depth. So if I add rows here, then I also wanna add rows here so that it's not, you know, wonky. So I'll just put a stitch marker and then keep track of how many extra rows I add for the V-neck depth. And then that's how many I'll come back here to add before joining in the round. Well, I guess before casting on the armpit and then joining in the round. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I feel like this fabric is so silky, and I love the difference in the texture with the garter stitch rows here and then the stockinette. So I'm already envisioning this on the beach. I think it's gonna be so lovely. And yeah, today was a little bit of a hard day, so it was nice to have this to work on while saying some of my affirmations. But I've got a crying Rudy Doody, so I'm gonna go and hang out with him for a little bit, but not too bad for the new moon.
Hey y'all. It's been a while actually since I've worked on my Therese dress, but a lot of the reason for that is that, again, when I work on this dress, I really want to have the right energy, the right intentions going for it, and unfortunately, that has not been what I've been feeling lately. We've had some things in the family happen lately. Rudy, though, he's been doing really well the last like 2 weeks, so that's very exciting. I think the last time I worked on the top was during the new moon and a few days afterwards. The full moon is actually in like 5 days, so it has been a while, but I am excited. Today I feel like really is the day to work on it and to really kind of get me in the headspace. I am doing a divine connection and intuition spell. My beautiful, amazing, wonderful witchy friend Jess of Wild Moon Witchery, I'll put her name in. She has a Ko-fi that she does moon rituals and spells and rituals for the seasons. She has so much knowledge and shares about different goddesses and deities, and yeah, she's pretty cool. So this is a spell that I purchased from her, and I'll show you all the ingredients here for my spell. And I'm just kind of gonna sit here and do this spell. This spell is going to help me feel more connected to my intuition, and I love that the spell in particular requires working with the High Priestess card. So since that is the whole essence of the Therese dress for me, I'm pretty pumped. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get started on it, and then I'll let you know afterwards kind of how it felt, and then we're gonna jump into working on the Therese dress. I've made a lot of progress. for the rest of the ritual, I do want to let my candle burn out as much as possible. Sorry, you're probably getting nauseous. See? There we go. Got that little glow from the candle here. Okay, that was amazing. I've never worked with runes before, so it was kind of cool to be carving runes on the candle and to kind of call in some forces, some entities, and to ask for help in connecting to my ability to like recognize the truth of my own intuition, because as somebody with anxiety and depression, it can be really hard to trust myself. So I think that was the most powerful part, honestly, of the spell, was the visualization the spell led you through in envisioning yourself as someone who is connected to their intuition, who's connected to divine connections, divine knowledge, and to just kind of envision yourself as that person and what it would mean in your life. And I really liked that I had a pretty strong picture of like different, just like very specific instances, like, oh, it would mean not needing to second guess myself about something. It would mean trusting my body. It would mean trusting, you know, that gut reaction, not constantly seeking somebody's outside approval to make sure that what I've chosen is the right path. It's something I struggle with. So, yeah, I liked that visualization for it. We also worked with a few crystals. I think we have some clear quartz, some amethyst, and I'm not sure what this last one is. I'm gonna message Jess. I don't think it's a amazonite. It's also not jasper, or maybe it is. It's not jade. I don't know. I don't think it's aventurine either. I'm trying to think of like all the blues that I know. So I will find out what this one is. Maybe pop it in this video. Now having those crystals, I think I might keep them with this project too. Just like this project is something that I can sit with whenever I need to think about things in my life. And I pondered that while I was doing the spell, was like, oh, I haven't worked on this project because like I don't want that negative energy. But some of it wasn't negative energy. It was just hard stuff. Like it was hard things. And I'm wondering if you know, considering still working on projects during those times, but instead when I'm thinking those thoughts and when I'm working on my project, using the project and the energy to help me trust my intuition, to help me trust that my feelings are valid and that they're right and the decisions that I'm making are right. Could be interesting. Could be interesting. I'm getting a little nervous with this candle. Like it's intense. I think we might have to cut it off here in a second, but wait till you see how beautiful the dripping is from the front. Yeah, you know what? My intuition is telling me I should cut it off, so. There we go. Look how beautiful this is. Tilt the camera. I love that. So pretty. Okay, so I'm feeling really good to get started with this. And one thing that I wanted to bring up that I'll probably do a voiceover later while I'm doing stitches so that I don't take up too much more of our time here at the beginning. But when you do spell work, and it was one of the first things, I'm like flipping through my notes here. It was one of the first things that I learned when I decided I wanted to practice witchcraft. I wanted to get into witchy things. There were really like 3 things that almost everybody was very unanimous on that you need to learn first before diving into other practices. And that was cleansing your space and yourself, your own energy, protecting your energy and creating protection for your magic, and grounding. So those are the 3 things that I'm going to talk a little bit more about. And if you're sitting here like, oh dear God, I am so not into this, I have found it so incredible how much of these 3 things are just good mental health practices. All 3 of these things I was already doing with my therapist. Maybe just a little less woo-woo, but like I was, especially one of them for the cleansing. When I read it in a book, I was like, oh, my doctor has me do that. Like, that's literally something we do whenever I'm trying to work through different emotions and kind of, again, push out that energy to situate myself and to find peace and calm. A lot of these practices are the same in meditation. So even if you're not somebody who's into witchcraft or the witchy things, these 3 things might be really helpful to you. And if you do decide that you want to get into witchcraft and witchier things, these are 3 great things to learn before you move on. They were 3 things that were included in the spell that I did. You could see them built in at various points. And those are what I'll talk about once we actually get into some of the stitching. But for now, let's talk about the project. Okay, so where we left off was that, now remember again, this is what she's considering the front, but I will be considering the back of my top. I decided not to do any modifications for that scoop. Instead, I am just going to have the scoop at the back so that I have a higher, it's going to prevent the shoulders from falling off. I don't know if you can see the dress that I'm wearing, but it has a deep V in the front, and happily there is elastic in these straps, which keeps it up. But if I move enough, I'm gonna hold that there. It will still fall off. So yes, I could have done some modifications and maybe included some elastic in this dress, but I think having the higher back is just gonna keep it more secure on my body. So you can see these are the shoulder parts. So this is like gonna sit on my shoulder here. And then this is the back of my top. So I worked both sides. Did some cast on, and I love how it is. Now, I was supposed to work a few more rows before starting the armpits, but because I'm fairly certain I'm going to be deepening my V-neck for my front, I want to wait and make sure that the 2 sides match so that when I'm casting on for the armpit, my lengths are even. So I'm gonna go ahead and work the front, the V-neck, and then count rows and see how many more I might need to come back here to add on. Then I'll work the armpits, and then I will be able to join and work the rest of the body. So getting a little ahead of myself though, I'm going to go ahead and put these stitches from the back onto some scrap yarn and get prepared to start the front. Okay, y'all, so like I said, when I first started to get in touch with my witchier side and wanting to participate in witchy practices, the first 3 things that I learned about are protecting your energy or your magic, cleansing your energy, and grounding. And I was just so surprised to see how similar this was to things that I had read in books for mental health and in therapy and things I was doing with my therapist. I've read a lot that witchcraft is often referred to as spicy psychology, and so many of these things are just the same. So let's start with protection. Now, when we talk about protecting our magic and ourselves, we're not necessarily talking about protecting ourselves from bodily harm. If witchcraft could completely protect us that way, that'd be awesome, but it can't. We're really talking about establishing boundaries with ourselves and the universe. We're deciding what we will and won't allow into our energy, our thoughts, our emotions, and our lives. In therapy, I learned this practice to protect my peace and my inner child and to work through, or work with, I guess would be better, emotions and memories that were draining and affecting me. Magically, it's kind of the same. In fact, one of the visualization exercises that my therapist had me doing is one that I've seen suggested in a lot of books of magic and spellcraft. So either my therapist is a witch in the broom closet or, spicy psychology strikes again.
Magical protection can help you to feel safer in the world, to make decisions without being influenced by others, to feel, I guess, calmer and better able to manifest what you desire. One of my absolute favorite protection practices, and it's actually my therapist's favorite too. I was doing this long before I was into witchcraft with her. But this is called the bubble of light. So you want to envision yourself in a big bubble of light. I like to envision my bubble as gold, silver, white, or blue light. And you make sure your bubble is big enough to surround yourself and the energy around you. Think of this light as impenetrable. It is an impenetrable glass shield. You can see everything around you, but any negativity or energy that isn't your own is going to bounce off your bubble and disappear. You want to think about how your bubble feels. Is it warm, cool? Visualize how it makes you feel too. Does it make you feel safe, calm, peaceful? Take deep breaths, visualizing your bubble, yourself, and those feelings for a few minutes. Then you can tell the bubble to stay in place for the day and visualize it remaining. Go ahead and go about your day, and anytime you need to, you can come back to this bubble meditation to recenter and calm and protect yourself. There's so much more to learn about protection magic, but I hope you enjoyed that little intro.
Squinching down here so you can see. All right, I'm going to pick up my stitches and start the first side.
Okay, next let's talk about clearing or cleansing your energy. Just like you want to take a bath every day, you need to cleanse your spiritual, the energy around you, the energy within yourself for good magical hygiene. There's a ton of different cleansing practices that you can do. Some of the fun ones involve incense, oils, water. I love using moon water to cleanse myself. I love using Florida water to cleanse myself. But I think one of the best ones, because again, this is a great mental health practice, it's great for your body, it's great for your mind, is breath work. So I could wax poetic about breath work and mental health, and how amazing it is for our spiritual health too. But breath work is something that has really helped with my anxiety and with my panic disorder. And it also really helps me feel centered and grounded, which we'll talk about grounding next for magical practices. But it just really helps me feel connected to my body and connected to my magic. So here's a really easy way to cleanse your energy with breath work. So you want to get comfortable, you want to kind of close your eyes, try to clear your mind, and then we are going to take an inhale in. And when we inhale in, we want to envision white light. When you exhale out, you want to envision kind of that negative energy or the stuck energy leaving your body. I really think it's important for if you have anxiety or panic disorder also or not panic disorder, it doesn't have to be a disorder for you, but if you feel like you're ever panicking in a situation, to really extend your exhales. That's kind of what stimulates your parasympathetic system, and that's what's going to calm you down. So again, inhale, white light, positive energy. Exhale the negative, exhale the stuck. You can even envision it as kind of like gray smoke, gray sludge, black, whatever really helps you visualize getting rid of that energy. Affirmations are also really great to help you during breath work. You can choose an affirmation that feels powerful to you, and you can repeat it silently in your mind, or you can actually say it out loud as you inhale and as you exhale. And this is just a quick and easy way to practice cleansing your energy.
So now that I have my stitches on, I'm going to go ahead and do some of the shaping and get it through to the neck. And then what's next? I'm looking over here at the pattern. Do some increases. Okay, yeah. So I'll do a little bit of filming on this. Maybe do a little bit of voiceover chatting about some more magical things if I haven't already. And when I get to a point that I need to make a decision for the v-neck, we'll pop back in to chat. But otherwise, just enjoy some witchy stitching.
Okay, so the last kind of witchy practice of the day that I want to talk about is grounding. And yes, grounding is used and talked about so much in mental health and in meditation, and it has helped me so significantly in my own mental health journey and in my magical practices. So again, for the 9 millionth time, I have anxiety. But it's really easy for me to catastrophize and just worry about the worst case scenario, the worst thing that could happen, all the bad things that can happen in a day, in a week, in a year, in a moment. And grounding pulls you into the here and the now, the present moment, to cut anxiety off at its knees. It distracts us from the scary thoughts and it reorients us back to reality. Magically, grounding connects us to the earth, to nature, to the present moment, so that our magic has somewhere to anchor itself. Grounding can help you to feel more in your body. It can help you to feel more present in life. And yeah, because witchcraft and nature often go hand in hand, it makes you feel connected to the earth, to nature, to people, and to ourselves. So here's a few of my favorite grounding techniques. The first one, physical grounding in nature. Get outside, put your feet or your whole body, if you can, on grass or sand, if you're a beach girl like me, or dirt. Just focus on the texture of the earth, the sounds of the earth and nature around you, the smell. You feel the air on your skin. Visualize and feel the energy of nature all around you. You can breathe deeply, thank nature. This can be part of your gratitude practice. But this is a really fun and easy physical grounding. Another great grounding practice, especially I like to do this one right before I do spells or meditations, are to envision your feet having roots or coming from your body, whatever part of you is touching the ground. And these roots are going into the core of the earth. They're growing deep, 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 and they are connecting your energy with the earth's energy. And you can even visualize that energy moving between the roots from the ground to you, from you to the ground. And it's just a really great, magical moment for sharing that energy with nature. And the final grounding technique, this is one that my therapist taught me. This is one that I think you'll find a lot if you just Google grounding techniques. I think it's one of the best. It is one that I use when I'm having an anxiety attack or a panic attack. And this is called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or 5 senses. You can do this anywhere. You want to look for 5 things that you can see, 4 things that you can touch, 3 things that you can hear, 2 things that you could smell, and 1 thing that you could taste. And you really want to focus as much as you can on these. Think about your senses and really just visualize that sound. Like, okay, can I identify every part of it? Or the touch of something, go ahead and touch it if you can. And, is it rough? Is it smooth? All of these things connect you to your body. They'll help pull you out of a panic attack or an anxiety attack. And they just make you feel more connected with the moment that you're in. And that's great magically, and that's great for our mental health. So yeah, these 3 practices, protection, cleansing, and grounding, these are practices of peace, these are practices of connection, and they're practices of self-love. The more in touch you are with your intuition and your emotions and your body, the more in touch you are with your magic. So let me know what you think of these practices, if they could be something that you'd use in your daily life, in your magical practices, and let me know if you have any questions, or if you yourself have a really great protection, cleansing, or grounding practices, let me know in the comments.
Okay, so very quickly as I started working on this, I went back to the schematics and kind of played around, and the depth of the V, while lovely, was just not going to be deep enough for me. So I had to get out my notebook because sometimes it's hard for me to visualize these things. And I played around with, there are neck increase stitches as well as body decrease stitches so that you're maintaining stitch count. And I wanted to make sure I was going to end up with the same number of increase and body decreases so that my stitch count is the same,
while also putting more rows so that the V becomes deeper. I think I've done it. I'm trusting my intuition on it. And this is what we have. Let me put this behind my head. Whoop. So far. So you can see if as is, row 30, I think the pattern I would be just about done, like maybe a less than 10 more rows. So the V would be like somewhere up here, but I want this to be like deep. So I think I've been able to add 2 inches more. So I believe the schematic said 8 inches. I'll correct it here if it's not. I want my V depth to be 10 inches. I realize it could end up being more whenever Trubu is stretchy, but I'd rather it be plungier than not plungy enough. I know that would make me sad. So this is where we're at right now. You should be able to continue. And again, this kind of sits off your shoulder a little bit because it's like a sleeve, kind of. So I'm super pumped. I'm going to keep going and also do the other side. And we'll get back together whenever, hopefully, I have a lovely V-neck. Okay, I've got the one side done. It looks so good. I'm so happy I modified the slope so that I could get it down here in bewbier. Coming along so nicely. All right, y'all. Moment of truth here. Rudy's been barking up a storm because there's someone at the door. I had to shut the door. I'm like standing here in my bra so that I can show y'all the progress that we've made, and he is just not having it. He has to make sure Daddy is safe. He'll be okay, buddy. Anyways, I just feel like this is so cool. I think the other day, I'll have to go back and look at the video, I said that the full moon was on Saturday. Full moon's today. Today's Thursday. And I've been working on the Therese Dress. I've been listening to some witchy podcasts. Let me know if you want me to do a whole segment on that. And I did like a guided meditation, and it's felt so good to work on this. I have noticed that I've started to rush a little bit. I don't know why in my mind I'm like, I've got to get this episode out. So I think this is where we're going to stop for this Magickal Making too, so that I don't put too much pressure on myself. But what I did was when I kind of tried it on, which I think I took a picture to show y'all. Hopefully I did. But I really liked the depth of the V. I think doing the increases slower, and it was a little bit bastardized because I didn't decide I wanted to do it until I was already like a few rows in. So then I had to rework and do the math to get my slope to, well, I guess they were increases, to increase at a slower rate so that there were more rows for the depth of the V, but then to still have the same number of stitches. So that's what I had been playing with, and I was able to mimic it on both sides. Then I went back to the front panel, which remember, I'm wearing the front and the back, and I had kept track of the rows, so I had to add that many rows to the project. So I haven't tried it on yet. This is me and you doing it the first time together, but dare I say, feel fairly confident. So I've got it on one of those tubey things, which sometimes I feel like, I was about to say, oh my God, what just happened? But no, it's fine. Sometimes I feel like is a great idea, and sometimes I feel like the tubey comes off and then I lose stitches. So fingers crossed that doesn't happen, but we're trying it on for the first time in the full moon in Sagittarius. Let's see what happens. This is a moon that's all about playfulness. Like this full moon is all about playfulness and finding your joy. So even if it doesn't work, we had fun, right? I'm not gonna lie, I'm ridiculously happy right now. Okay, yeah. So this is like, it's that off the shoulder with
Look at it. Now see, that is the booby V that I wanted. Yes. I'm so, because it would have, I think the V would have been more up here, maybe here, if I hadn't added the depth. So like, this is exactly where I want it. And like, I love this. Don't get me wrong. I think this is beautiful, but I do know the weight of the dress may pull it down more. I'm okay with that too. I mean, hopefully it doesn't come down to my belly button, but honestly, like even if it's like down to here, I will feel okay with that. If it stays relatively up here, I'll be able to wear a bra with it and get a little oomph for the ladies. But I don't wear bras all that often. Although, gotta plug this bra. We're jumping all over the place. These are dance skin. They were on sale at TJ Maxx and I bought a whole bunch and they are bralettes. There's no wires. They are so comfortable. I would wear this with this. Although I do kind of like that it's like a little off the shoulder. So I'd have to like move the straps over to here. I don't know if you can hear Rudy crying. He's very upset. He wants to check on Steve. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. I feel like it's so pretty. It is so shimmery. I love where we're going. I also love that the armpits are a little deeper because I don't like high armpits. I like things lower. I also like side boobs. So anywho, yeah, that's where we're going to stop for this episode of Magickal Making. Tonight for the full moon, what did I decide I was going to do? Oh, I was going to look up like a fun spell to do, but honestly, we had a change of plans and we're going out of town tomorrow real early in the morning. So what I might do is I might take a full moon bath. I have moon water from several of the past moons and I might add it to my bath and just really do kind of a letting go, a release in the tub and like do some visualization exercises of cleansing myself, of recharging myself. And then tomorrow we are headed to do something really fun. So I feel like that's very appropriate for the full moon in Sagittarius. Anyways, thank y'all so much for watching. Please let me know if you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think of the progress so far of the Therese dress. And if there's anything witchy or magical that you would like me to talk about in the next episodes, let me know because I'm just kind of pulling whatever strikes my fancy at the moment. But thank y'all so much and I will see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, do all the things you're supposed to do. Bye y'all.